When Christopher came home, I was gently caressing my slightly rounded belly, where our child was growing. I was just about to share the happy news with him, but to my surprise, he came back earlier than expected. In our 10 years of marriage, it was the first time we had been so in sync. "Honey, I'm pregnant." I could not stop the smile spreading across my face, already picturing him picking me up and spinning me around like they do in the dramas. But that image never came to life. Instead, he pinched the bridge of his nose, his exhaustion clear. It made my heart ache. "Phoebe, Nikki needs your bone marrow." From the weariness in his voice, it was not hard to figure out who Nikki was. She was the woman he could never have, his one true love. Nikki Stone had ditched Christopher for a wealthier man when he was still a broke young guy. So why was she back now? At that time, Christopher was starting his business and desperately needed funds. I became a bar hostess, entertaining clients day and night, to the point where I drank myself into a stomach ulcer. Eventually, I saved up enough to fund his business, and he promised me the grandest wedding. As his wealth grew, he had me step back and become a housewife. Though he never said it, I knew he cared for me. Thinking about all the heartache, I sniffled and couldn't help but repeat myself. "Honey, I'm pregnant, and besides, she's not a good person." He looked at me with impatience, as if I was being unreasonable. "Phoebe, you're just a bar hostess. This isn't the time for you to be dramatic. Nikki needs your bone marrow." I stared at him, shocked. Once, he had held my hand and promised me, "Phoebe, you did it all for me. I will never look down on you." For the first time, I refused him, not for me, but for the child growing inside me. His tone instantly grew cold, laced with irritation. "Phoebe, whether you like it or not, you're going today." When I opened my eyes again, I was strapped to the operating table. For the first time, Christopher wore a faint smile, while Nikki stood nearby, pretending to be concerned. "Christopher, will the anesthetic hurt her? It's all my fault that she has to suffer like this." He had actually given me anesthesia. Suddenly, pain tore through my belly, and tears streamed down my face. "Honey, the baby, it hurts." Nikki immediately started acting weak and fragile. "It's all my fault. I made her suffer." Christopher gently comforted her, wiping the tears from the corners of her eyes. "Nikki, it will never be your fault." Then he turned to me, showing me a soft expression for the first time, speaking in a gentle, soothing tone. "Phoebe, the doctor said you're not pregnant. I'll give you whatever you want from now on." "Not pregnant? Then why did it hurt so much?" His tender voice continued to coax me, whispering sweet words I had never heard before. "Phoebe, what do you want? I'll buy you anything." I looked up at his face, so close to mine. With hope, I made my pitiful request. "Honey, could you love me a little more from now on?" I used to believe, at least a little, that Christopher loved me, but seeing the way he tenderly comforted Nikki, that belief somehow crumbled. I was suddenly terrified. Maybe he had never loved me at all. Christopher's deep, magnetic voice came through, filled with an emotion I had never heard before. "Don't say such silly things. I'm your husband. How could I not love you?" It felt so comforting, and with that thought, I sank into a deep sleep. The surgery went smoothly, and Nikki survived. I had turned into a lonely, wandering soul, unable even to save my child. My baby had not even fully formed yet, just a tiny embryo without a soul, leaving me to be a ghost in this world all alone. Maybe I used up all my good luck the moment I met Christopher. Now I had died on the operating table, taking with me the child who never even got the chance to open their eyes and see the world. That's right, my innocent baby died with me. I was consumed with hatred. I hated those butchers who killed my baby, and I hated those unscrupulous doctors who covered up the truth. Christopher pressed a kiss to Nikki's forehead, completely forgetting that just before the surgery, he had sworn he would love me. A sharp pain shot through my chest. Wasn't I already dead? Why could I still feel pain? My mother-in-law, Sally Ford, rushed in, leaning against the door frame. She was out of breath, constantly wiping the sweat from her face with a handkerchief. How ironic. She had not even attended my wedding to Christopher, claiming she was too old and frail to handle the stress. Turned out, that was a lie too. Nikki is such a kind girl. Nothing like that bar hostess. Good people always get their reward. Sally knew exactly why I became a bar hostess in the first place. The nurse looked at this family with a mix of emotions and gestured for the doctor to speak up. I noticed that this was not the doctor who had performed my surgery. Before I could think further, the doctor began to speak. "Mr. Ford, Mrs. Ford has Pa."